everyone. So this in today's video, this is going to be in two parts. The first video, this one, I'm going to be talking about a recent trip I made to Portsmouth. I went there again last Thursday, the 18th of October, 2018, because I try and get out as much as possible on Thursdays, which is sort of has been designated as my sort of outing day, if you like. I've got sort of into the routine of taking myself out on outings on Thursday just to challenge myself, to get myself out of the house, and because it does feel quite good, and I do get a sort of buzz and a sense of accomplishment when I've managed to get out, because it's not easy for me and it does require a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, particularly when it's going to somewhere that I haven't been to for a while. But I was really pleased because I decided to go to the Cascades in Portsmouth. The Cascades is a shopping centre, and I'd Googled it beforehand, and I'd done a Google Maps. Google Maps is amazing. I can't rate Google Maps high enough. It really is fantastic. I don't know if any of you use Google Maps, but Google Maps is absolutely fantastic in terms of enabling me to get out more, facilitating my independence, being able to travel more, walk more places on my own. It's been great. So Google Maps is amazing. I use Google Maps, and that helped me to find the Cascades before I went, to walk there virtually, if you like, on the internet before I went there. So I decided to get a train to Portsmouth and Southsea in order to walk round the Cascades shopping centre. Originally I was going to walk to the Cascades from Portsmouth Harbour train station, and I'd originally done the Google Maps from Portsmouth Harbour, but it takes quite a long walk from Portsmouth Harbour to get to the Cascades, and I later discovered it's a lot quicker to get there for Portsmouth and Southsea, and we were only talking like about just a couple of minutes from the station. So I changed my plans a little bit, and I decided to get off at Portsmouth for Southsea first, go to the Cascades, and then hop back on the train and go to Portsmouth Harbour to visit Wild Thyme health food stores again, which I'd done previously. Now, the Cascades was actually rather disappointing. Aside from a quirky gift shop which sold various squishies and stress balls, as well as sloth-themed mugs and pencil cases, the other shops were just standard mainstream outlets. The centre felt rather stuffy and claustrophobic. When I initially entered the centre, I thought it didn't seem too bad. It seemed quite airy, quite spacious, but I think that must be part of the older part of the centre, because the centre seems to be in two parts. The more modern part of the centre felt rather stuffy, and the air felt rather stale, which you often get in shopping centres. I don't really like shopping centres precisely for that reason, but I still wanted to go because despite the fact I don't like shopping centres, and despite the fact that I do feel rather uneasy and feel rather stressed in busy, overstimulating places, the other part of me wanted to enjoy the challenge, and also, of course, because I do quite like visiting shops and looking at some of the items and doing a little bit of retail therapy. So there is a little tension there between the part of me that doesn't like busy, noisy, claustrophobic spaces, and the other part of me that wants to, to do a bit of shopping. So there's always that little conflict there, and I have to kind of mediate that as best as I can. So I decided to give it a go, but again, there was only so much of it I could take. I did go in a few of the shops. I think there's an H&M, I think there's a Primark's, but I very quickly left them because they did feel a little bit too much for me, and I was starting to feel, not panicky, but I was starting to feel a little bit apprehensive, and like I couldn't really take much more, and I felt that if I stayed much longer, it might possibly take me onto the road to a bit more anxiety than I could handle. So I left rather quickly. I then went inside the Waterstones bookshop instead. Waterstones is always a favourite retreat of mine. Wherever I am, it's a little bit noisy, a bit overstimulating. If I can find a Waterstones, I'll go inside the Waterstones. That's kind of like an oasis of calm, no matter where I am. So I went inside the Waterstones, and of course that never really disappoints. Waterstones are pretty samey. If you're not in the UK, by the way, Waterstones is a mainstream kind of bookshop. Bookshops, generally speaking, are nice places to be in. The cafe inside the Waterstones looked rather nice, but it was very small. I didn't go to the cafe, but it did look nice. So if I'm ever back there in Portsmouth, I know that there is a nice cafe there. So I might possibly try the cafe another time. I also visited the Works, which is a discount store, and I bought a poetry book. I haven't got it to show to camera, I'm afraid, at the moment. But it was a life and death poetry book. When I get round to reading it, it might be quite a long time ahead because I've got quite a few other things to read, but I might possibly do a book review on it. It's basically just a poetry book containing different poems about life and death, which I thought was quite interesting. so I treated myself to that. I then walked back to the station, but trains had temporarily stopped running between Southsea and the harbour because of a signalling problem. It was lucky that I had Google mapped the route from the harbour to the Cascades. It came in very useful because it meant that I knew how to walk there. So I decided to walk from Portsmouth and Southsea station all the way to the harbour. So that's why the earlier Google Maps did come into use after all, when I did the original Google Maps from the harbour to Cascades, before I discovered there was a quicker route. Now it came in handy. So I certainly got plenty of exercise. Not really a very appealing walk, I have to say. It's mainly just concrete and lots of flats and busy roads, but it's a nice direct route, so it's easy enough to walk in that respect. I also discovered on my walk that this was another sort of, a nice discovery really, that Portsmouth has a nice park that bans dogs, because I have a dog phobia. This is great, obviously as I have a dog phobia. I mean, it's hard to find dog-free green spaces, so that was a nice find. The walk, as I say, was otherwise not inspiring. It's just rather drab urban flats and sprawl, as you would expect. But I did eventually arrive at the dockyards, and I decided to visit the cafe. I was taken aback when a lady inspecting people's bags for security asked me my age. I reacted by saying it was a personal question. Like, how you asking my age? How dare you? I really don't like it when people ask me my age. So I was a bit taken aback. And why should I tell her? I said, I'm an adult. I was irritated because, I don't know about you, but I do hate telling people my age and people not treating me like an adult because I do look so young. I mean, I can probably pass for an 18-year-old, even though I'm 31 and a half years old. But I know I don't look my age. It's not my fault, it's just my constitution, it's the way I'm made. I do look a lot younger than my years. The woman said she had to ask, so I apologised. I felt a bit guilty then for sort of snapping at her. So, I apologised, and she was very good about it. I do feel rather sorry for the poor woman at the receiving end. I just wasn't expecting her to ask me her age, but she said she had to, I think she had to ask. She'd obviously been told that she had to ask everyone her age. It just seemed a bit out of context, and I wasn't expecting it, because I've never been asked my age before, on approaching a dockyard, so that's why I think I was a little bit irritated, because I do feel a bit self-conscious about telling people my age. It is a personal question. But she was nice about it and had a little laugh, I'm not actually sure what the reasons were for asking people their age. I don't know. Why? Why did she ask me my age? I mean, she had to look inside my bag for security because it's Docklands, it's a heavily guarded area. At the cafe, I had tea and a croissant I got from the waitress bakery, and that was very, very nice. Took myself right back to the very far end of the cafe where I could sit all by myself away from my people and have a little walk as I ate my croissant without worrying about people looking at me, which is rather nice. I do like to walk when I'm eating nice food. Do you walk when you eat nice food? Let me know. I had the croissant and some tea, and I had a banana, and I had a fruit and rice bar, which is very nice. And I then walked, I got loads of exercise on that day, can't believe it. I then walked to the Wild Thyme Whole Food stores via Gun Wharf Shopping Arcade. At Gun Wharf, I visited Whittards of Chelsea, which is a tea and coffee house. And I bought Coffee from Around the World box set, which I can show the camera. Here we are, this is what I bought. I hope you can see that. I'll just move it up and down. Hope you can see that. As you can see. That's what I got. Yeah. Coffees from Around the World box set. Now, this was reduced to £17.50. I think it was originally about something like £21 or something, but I bought it with my Autism ProSD research money. I have now finished the research. If you want to find out about the ProSD research, do please check out my other videos where I talk about that. So I've been talking a lot. My throat. I've been talking a lot today, because I saw my support worker before doing this video. But I will be assessed again in a year. It felt good to treat myself, because I used that gift money. I also bought a Whittards coffee caddy for £4. By the way, I have tried the teas from Around the World box set about a year or so ago, which were very good, but I haven't tried a coffee one before, and I'm getting more into coffee now. Oh no, it was reduced for £25. £25 it was originally to £17.50, so that's pretty good. So I'll try that soon. I carried on walking to Wild Thyme. This is the second time I visited the shop. This time I bought a can of Lincolnshire vegan sausage and beans. I have now tried this on toast. It was okay, but nothing amazing. A bit heavy and stodgy. I also bought some hand-rolled granola, which I have not tried yet. I walked back to the harbour via the seafront, and the sea was as still as a mill pond. I could see right across to the Isle of Wight. The weather became very warm for the time of year after a chilly start, and the sun was very intense in Portsmouth. Can't believe it's October. It was lucky that I was wearing my brimmed baseball hat. It was a good day, and I felt very pleased that I had done so much walking, but I was on the verge of collapsing upon arriving home, and I had to lie down on my bed for a bit. I hope to visit Portsmouth again very soon. So, I hope you enjoyed my update. And now moving on to video number 2 now, where I'm going to do the sloth quiz number 2. So thank you for watching.